As we start off this morning at 8:30, we normally would be 42 for a high. We're not even close to that. We're already above that here at 8:30. And really the impressive part is look at some of the fog right along the river. This is a really cool looking shot here from Grafton. You can see sunshine early, but fog right along the river. And, you know, a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is warm above the surface, but at the surface, that water is not, 62-degree water, right? You know how cold that water is now after the first part of the month. So that's one of the main differences why we have some of that fog, and we have temperatures that are holding steady in the upper 40s and upper 50s and low 60s. Mid to upper 40s on the other side of the state, getting ahead of myself, and you'll see kind of these ups and downs where we had this warm finger of air that we had yesterday. Now it's expansive. Even as we look in Chesterfield, 63 degrees, 60s in many spots right now. Now, our visibility is muted to some degree. There's more fog in central Missouri as there has been, but I want to pay attention to the next few hours because this is what I think is going to happen for us the next few hours. We're going to stay in the mid to upper 60s and low 70s. We'll see those numbers start to come up as we head through 2, 3, 4 o'clock as we've got conditions that are going to be on the mild side. You'll notice that same spots like yesterday. How warm was it for you in Sullivan, Potosi, and Farmington? Mid to upper 70s. That I think is going to be the case again. Along I-70, mid to upper 60s. To the north, you're in the upper 50s. One thing that you will see by this evening, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, is it does get cooler. And then for tomorrow, things warm up again. But I think it's important to note a couple of things. First, we're going to see cloud cover temps in the 60s throughout most of the day. Like I said, there will be breaks in the clouds as there have been, but it's not a wildly sunny day by any stretch of the imagination. Low to mid 40s to start our morning. It will be cooler. But one thing that's important to note is as we continue to see these ups and downs, there's a brief cool down with a southeast breeze. But this particular model wants to really hold off that real warm air once again off to our southwest. I tend to think it moves a little further off to the north, but you'll notice that there's a pretty good spread between central Missouri and on the other side of the state where you're in the mid to upper 60s, low 70s versus mid to upper 40s. I think that there will be some of this around. My hunch is that it is closer to Jerseyville and Litchfield versus the actual St. Louis area. And I think we probably get stuck once again in the low 60s here versus mid to upper 60s and low 70s to the southwest. That's the way that I think it seems right now. However, we're all going to go back up regardless overnight. Saturday into Sunday, that's where things stay pretty warm. But what we're going to see is a pretty big change. And that's where I want to highlight on Sunday morning. Warm, windy conditions, temps in the 60s. Throughout the rest of the day, as we go into the upper 60s and low 70s, notice what's going on because we're going to continue to see temps in the low 70s, still staying dry for a lot of us. But that rain looms as this front arrives. And what's important for that front to arrive is the significant clash of air masses. Excuse me. As we continue to focus on temps in the low 70s, mid to upper 60s behind it, notice how it gets cold behind there as well. We're in the 50s and 40s even. This cold air really slams in quickly. But like I said, I think we're going to see a mix, excuse me, a mix in between where you may even mix a few flakes of snow in behind it. That's how rapid this cold air is behind it. And what's important for us is the fact that we're going to see a steady diet of that cold air behind it. Now, our 10-day forecast suggests that, yeah, mid-60s here today. Temperatures fall from 74 degrees, maybe even warmer in some cases, throughout the day. Look how that temperature falls into the 20s. We're in the 30s, excuse me, to start off on Monday. And throughout the rest of the week, you're going to continue to see temps in the mid-30s, 40s, and really for the next few days, you're going to see pretty cold conditions as you would expect this time of the year, but it is going to be quite mild this weekend.